my take on Trey Lance, his personality. I think Trey Lance is a swell guy. I'm going to use that word swell. If there was a one guy on the 49ers I would let date my daughter, it would be Trey Lance. I think he's a really good dude. I think he's a swell dude. But at the same time, I think he lacks a little bit of maturity. Like I want to be cool, and like, but there's also like this thing where like people like want to be cool, and I think there's a little bit of that with Trey Lance that I kind of pick up. Or I'm not
He's the
sure
youngest guy on the team.
he is. Yeah,
I can imagine. Yeah.
and I just not sure that he's quite yet like a leader of men, and so I wonder about that aspect of his personality.
He's the youngest quarterback in the NFL, right? No, Sam Howell is. He's the second youngest quarterback in the NFL. Okay,
but I think he's going to be the youngest starting quarterback, or he's set up to be the youngest starting quarterback. But I think he's a really like a really nice guy for sure.
Yeah.
On field, here's where I'm going to have to make a lot of 49ers fans mad. And this other guy earlier that said Trey Lance had poise on. Trey Lance did not look comfy back there. He didn't pass the eyeball test. I mean, folks like to talk a lot about the second half against the Texans. They put up some points, but I didn't think Trey Lance looked great. I didn't think he looked great. Now, on the flip side, he has a lot of potential, and he should have got more reps over Jimmy this past year.
What do you expect him to look like in his second start? He's a rookie. He's 21. He won the game. I mean, what was he supposed to look like? How good was he? How polished was he? I mean, you knew he was going to look like that, right? You didn't get the reps in camp. You didn't play all year. It was going to be a little rough. He improved as the game went on. I thought that was an encouraging display from a rookie. Honestly, it was a must-win game. I'm sorry, I don't mean to get in an argument with you. I saw you made this point on Twitter. I thought it was interesting. You took a lot of heat for it. I respect it.
Because I said the second half, and I should have said the fourth quarter.
Look, man, I don't know if Trey Lance is going to be a Pro Bowl quarterback. He might not be. We'll see. I just firmly believe that he was their best option last year. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I wanted to see Trey Lance get reps over Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I think Kyle's play calling wasn't helping Trey Lance. You got to let him. You got to let him scramble when the play breaks down. Don't call.
You got to move the pocket on play action. Once they started doing that in the second half against Houston, they couldn't defend the whole field. It's too much. The run, they don't do that with Jimmy, and they didn't do that. It was like with Trey at first. It was like you have to prove that you can throw all the Jimmy passes. Like, okay, can we please do? Can we take some shots? Can we move the pocket? Once they did, touchdown. And it was the same way in the preseason. I think there's going to be a very explosive element to the passing game that hasn't been here since freaking Kaepernick.
Yeah, you got to trust the quarterback and let it rip. It's like Justin Fields' coach. He wasn't really dialing up the plays for him. And then towards the end of the season, he finally started to let him throw some passes downfield, and he started to look a little better.
It's like if you want Trey Lance to throw a bunch of 5-yard passes, why did you should have just stuck with Jimmy. You should have drafted Mac Jones. Like, what are you doing? But finally, they started using him the way they should, and that's why I'm encouraged. T Bizzle, be good on Twitter, all right? I can't get your back all the time.